Ooh. Alright guys, last week we went to an estate sale and we got some goodies for this thing. Check them out. Alright guys, so last week we were at the estate sale and we got these three items here. We ended up finding a new differential that was in better condition than what we currently have. This is a drive shaft that will connect the differential to the new 5-speed transmission that we found. These look really similar to another one that might not work, so we want to go right now to the 2002 and make sure that this timing hole and everything else matches up. So follow me. Gosh, dude, we need to tie in the bolts like now. The hood's gonna fall off.
The hood's gonna fall off?
Look.
Well, that's good quality, dude.
Dude, so sketchy. So cringe. Tightening the hood because it looked like it was gonna fall off, and figured we need it. This one is a 6-cylinder, and I guess that's a 4. I'm gonna see if I notice any differences. Alright, so after doing a little bit more research, we found out that the difference between the M20 and the M10 engine, basically the way the transmission mounts up to it, is you gotta look for the hole here, and then also the distance here should be like 4.5 inches. If you have both of those, it's pretty safe to say that it'll fit. Looks like the main thing we're looking for is the timing hole, if you guys remember from our timing video where we poured a bunch of paint in there. So that, and then this, from this to the next bolt should be around 4.5 inches. So that's kind of what we're looking for. Okay, we're gonna pop the top cover off again. See what we're dealing with.
I don't think my bolts are this rusty.
I don't think they're rusty. The tops look pretty rusty, but
let's hope the condition of it inside looks as good as it feels.
yeah, imagine if it's all like watery and gunky, and that's why it feels so like smooth.
Yeah. So in comparison to our old diff, you can see how smooth this one is. Just no gear noise, just completely smooth. It's gonna probably make our car drive much nicer.
I think so.
No whirring sounds. We were looking for an open or a limited slip differential there, but we looked through all of them. There was about 10 or 12 of them. We just turned all of them, and none of them were turning the same way. So no luck there, but
well, we also came like a little later that day. There was a couple other enthusiasts before us. They bought out all the Bilstein shocks that we were hoping to get for this thing, and
yeah,
they knew what they're looking for.
All the wheels, all the trannies.
Yeah, and we came on the first day, just right after work. We came at 3-ish, and they started at 12. So in 3 hours, like,
yeah,
this guy walked out with a E30 M3 bumper and just rare steering wheels and just crazy cool stuff.
Yeah.
So apparently that guy that had the place before, this was an estate sale, and he would just take old vintage 2002s and other cars and piece them out piece by piece and then sell it. But I don't think he did much selling because he had
hoarding.
He did hoarding.
I think they were saying he sold like to BMW groups and stuff like that, like people that needed stuff, which is pretty cool. Close community.
Yeah, he probably kept a lot of cars alive.
Yeah.
But also killed a lot.
All right.
Ready?
Let's pop it open.
See what's inside? Ooh, dude.
Wait, that one looks different.
Maybe
it doesn't have that.
It's a Torsen!
Hold on. Ours definitely doesn't have that.
Well, look, there's the teeth. You could see them move.
Dude.
Pull out your iPhone. Let's figure it out.
Let's do some research because I don't know what we're looking at. Let's bring the other diff and we can compare it.
Yeah, okay.
We're gonna pop this cover off on the old diff, just do a little comparison. Alright, so you can see, if I turn this one, can you turn that one?
Yeah, go ahead.
So first of all, it's making a ton of noises.
Do this one.
Compared to this one, it's like
Silent.
really, really smooth.
It's silent.
It's nice. But it does have fluid in there, so I mean that's one thing. But the other thing is this housing.
There's more bolts on this side too than that. You see that?
Mm-hmm. So it's much different setup. So we're gonna do a little quick Google search and just see what we can find.
Absolutely.
I mean, maybe it's LSD, maybe it's not. But if worst case scenario, I mean, it's super smooth, so that's a win for us. So let's take a quick look. Today we are going to be restoring this differential. We got some Corroseal rust primer, which is going to convert the rust and prime it, get it ready for our paint. And so we just got to mask this thing up, clean it, and paint it. Alright, let's dump this oil out. So we did a little Google searching and we didn't find if it's LSD or not. So if any of you guys know, just comment below. But dude, this thing is heavy. It's probably weighs more than the tranny.
See, like,
I mean, the inner gears are turning, but these are spinning the opposite sides. But from what we looked at, none of the open differentials have this outer carrier. It's all like half open basically. None of them are fully closed like this one. But then we did see pictures of LSDs that did have it closed like that. But from what we saw, like there's nothing clear that's like this is LSD, this is not. So for now we're just gonna clean the cover back a little bit, clear all the oil off, and then throw the cover back on and just paint it like that.
Now I'm gonna just tape up some parts that we don't want painted black.
Alright guys, we got all these parts degreased, cleaned up. They're looking really good. We're going to be using this product called Corroseal, which converts the rust and creates like a black primer, which is exactly what we want for an area like this where it's a lot of creases and weird areas, where we can just convert the rust and just give it a nice coat and it should be solid. We pulled out the brake drums. We're going to do those too because they're really rusty. But this stuff basically we're going to brush it on and it should just turn into a black primer. If it turns gray, it means we need some more of this stuff. So it's going to be our first time using it, and we'll give it a shot. I know we always love pour 15, but for something like this, it might be a little bit too thick of a coating. So I'm going to try out a new product and hope it works. So let's mix it up.
Oh, it's like honey.
Should be good for now. I mean, if anything, I'll just pour it back. So it has like a honey-like consistency. And we love honey. It says to stir it until it's like a milky white. And it looks milky now. It does smell like the metal prep, which is interesting. But it's probably the same type of product.
It smells like Elmer's glue.
Brings you back to your childhood, huh? Okay, I'll start on the crappy brake rotor. So
The non-German one.
one of our brake rotors says made in Germany, the other one says not.
Not.
Not made in Germany. But since we're not going to be changing the brake pads just yet, we're going to leave the rotors as is. Alright, let's see what happens.
Looks like sunscreen.
Honey, sunscreen, Elmer's glue. Alright guys, the core seal is all dried and this came out as a nice black matte finish, ready for a top coat. After doing a little more research, we did find out it's a limited slip differential, and you can tell by this S, that's what really tells it. The 11 is the pinion gear teeth and the 40 is the ring gear teeth. If you divide those two, that's where you get the ratio of the differential. So this is a 3.64 limited slip differential. Another way to tell is by pulling off the rear cover, and you can see that carrier on the differential. It's much different, similar to, or different than the open differential where it's all enclosed, as you saw earlier. So there you have it. You have a limited slip differential. Now time for some paint. Alright guys, we finished coating these parts with some Coro Seal and they're looking amazing. Converted all that nasty rust into a nice black primer coating that's ready for some black shiny paint. We have the top cover left to polish, and then we'll be done with the diff and ready to reassemble. So thank you guys for watching, and we will see you again next week.